Hi, St. Mary families. It's Miss Clements, still with a few broken bones, but we've been working hard. I'm coming to you today from our second grade room so you can see our beautiful new desk. Each student has their own desk now. So we're real excited to have those, and we thank the home improvement gentleman that worked all day today to put those together for us. So I just want to take a little time to give you some more information about what's going on, what will happen in a few weeks when we start school. So first of all, I'd like to address what we're going to do over about some of the emails we got over the weekend with concerns, which I totally understand. We will have a parent meeting this Wednesday at 7 p.m. in the church. Father Jack is still on vacation, but he would like for us to go ahead and have the meeting, which some of you proposed. Father Vince, Mike Malcolm, Mark Milosevic, and I will spearhead the meeting and hope that we can all work together, as our school community should be working together, to come up with some ideas, hopefully some good plans, that if our distance learning needs to be in place, it will be a structured, productive one. I had talked to a few of you a couple of weeks ago about this because you had family health concerns and were worried about your children being at school. At the time, I did say we would look into it. We would hope to try to do some type of Google Classroom lesson that would be recorded and then sent to you for your child to do their work with. Also, you would need to have the books, have the materials you would need at home to take care of the lessons. We are not exactly sure yet on how that can be done, but we are going to look into it. I know another school said they were live streaming. Well, they don't have the materials yet to live stream, so they're doing basically what we're doing. They're offering you're either in school attendance or you choose the other plan, which is home attendance, and that's where you do all your work. The teachers send it to you, send the videos, and your child is working at home all year. It's not a 2-week period here or there. It's you commit to this for the year. Hopefully they'll be getting whatever they need to do it, but we need to concentrate on what's viable for our kids and what helps to alleviate some of your worries. So Wednesday night, please try to come, and we will do our best to come up with a good plan. Some of you already know the plan is going to cost a lot of money. A lot of money. And you've been very generous about offering to fundraise. Now, when we find out what's going on with all this, we may not have time to get it in place when school starts. Because as I said, our distance learning was going to be our last resort if they closed schools down again. But we'll see what we can do. We'll talk about it. And we need to remember that we're doing this for our children. And we need to do this, with that in mind, and come up with a plan that's reasonable and a plan that people can feel comfortable with. So just to let you know about that first, you will be getting an email invitation, but I wanted you to know right now so you could put it on your calendar if you're able to come. If you don't think you can come and you have questions, you can send me questions, or Mr. and Mrs. Abbott have offered that also. So let's remember we're doing this together for our community and in the light of peace. So next I'm going to go through some of the information you'll be receiving in an email. I know you all felt like it was a bombardment of diocesan policies and procedures the other day. But if we hadn't given you that information, I don't think you would feel comfortable with what we're doing. The principals and the superintendent spent all summer meeting every week trying to provide these procedures that are for the care and the safety of the kids, the teachers, the families. You know, we've never gone through this before. We've never gone through a pandemic of such nature that it's causing all of this emotional response from people, especially our children. So if we didn't have all these procedures, it would just be chaotic, because we've changed things. We've got to do things differently, health-wise, cleanliness-wise, recess-wise. So bear with me and receive this in the spirit it is intended. We want you here. We want everybody to enjoy their day here, but we are going to need to change a few things. So I'm taping this so that maybe even your kids can look at it, because you're going to need to talk to them about, hey, we're going to school, it's going to be great, the teachers are so excited, but we've got to make some changes because of COVID. So that they come to school and they're just, oh, yeah, take my temperature, okay, at recess, I've got to spread out a little bit of here or whatever. We want them to feel comfortable when they come in, and that's what this message is for. As always, please, if you have questions, call me, please, or Mrs. Kimmel. We are the ones that have this detail in our brain. The teachers will know too, but right now, we're the ones that need to be called. If you want to email me personally, that's fine, or her, but let's keep this to where we're communicating with each other. I would really appreciate that. So, this is our Plan A that I sent out to you a few weeks ago, which is brief information. This is how we're going to do things. So you need to keep this so before school starts, you can revert back to it. Remember, okay, this is where we're going to go into school. This is what's going to happen during the day. So our regular school schedule is, 8 to 3:20, and that's what we'll keep. We're not going to change the schedule any. So as we all know, the symptoms of COVID, you all are pretty familiar with those, and we've listed those again for you. But in order to protect the health of our children, our teachers, and our families, it's important that you exercise caution when considering sending a potentially ill student to school. The students will get out of their cars every day. I'll talk more about that in a minute. Have their temperature taken and then be sent to class. But if a student becomes ill during the day with possible COVID symptoms, we will have them in the mailroom, the uniform room, and taking their temperature. We'll wait for 10 minutes or so and take it again, just to be sure. Then, if they are still running the 100.4 temperature, they would have to go home. We would need you to call your pediatrician right away. Then they'll probably have you call the health department, and they will give you the guidelines as for, yes, maybe your child needs to go get tested, give them 48 hours to see if all of this calms down, whatever they tell you to do. We are depending very heavily on the Tulsa Health Department for guidance. One of their second person in command over there is working specifically with the Catholic schools to make sure we stay updated, or they will answer our questions fairly quickly. But you're going to have to also work with your pediatrician on that. If the school community will be notified, we're going to have a form letter that says this is what happened in this class, and this is our procedure for, either all the kids go home to be quarantined for 2 weeks and the teacher, or whatever we're going to have to do, depending on the symptoms and the outcome of that. If a teacher becomes positive, they will have to go home, get all they need to get through the illness and quarantine. Unfortunately, so will the students of that teacher. But that's where we will throw in the distance learning, get information to them they need. If the teacher can't do the lesson plans, I will, and we'll get everything out there to what they're going to need. Again, it's 14 days that we're quarantined. So also for regular fevers, we have a horrible flu season every year. Just regular things we think are the flu, but they're running a temp, and they would have to be fever-free for 48 hours. That's a new policy for everybody. So it's not 24 anymore, it's 48 hours, fever-free with no medication. So we're really going to depend on you all to help us take care of that and keep that under control. So now the big word, mask. We are still determining the use of mask. The policy you received says it's highly recommended, which we really recommend the students wearing a mask at least 6th through 8th grade, if not 3rd through 8th grade. It has not been made a policy yet, but we are just learning that Bishop Kelly, Cassia Hall, Montecasino, Holland Hall, Jinx, they're requiring masks for 3rd through 8th graders, depending on their age groups. We did not know this last week when we sent this out. So there is some rethinking about this, because a lot of it is towards our teachers. Some of our teachers aren't going to be able to have the kids come up to their desk and chit-chat about their lesson and get guidance because the kids don't have a mask on. The teachers will wear a mask and possibly a shield all day long. But unless we have kids in masks, sadly, we may have to stay an arm's length from them, just so that we're not putting ourselves in a strange position of, are we going to get this from the children not being in masks? So I hope you understand that. I hope your thinking kind of starts turning towards, wow, we've got to protect everybody. We have a lot of teachers that are vulnerable themselves, or they have family members that are vulnerable to this, and we have to take that in consideration. So right now, the mask situation is undetermined, I guess I would say. I appreciate those of you who have said, we're wearing a mask. We know how important it is. We're already teaching our child how to wear the mask. We've gone out and bought some of the fun masks that have decorations on them or whatever. I thank you for doing that, and that will help us in the long run. I know there's still some of you that are very anti-mask, and I totally understand that and respect it, but we've got to have a little bit different wavelength about this now, because instead of it getting better, our numbers getting better over the summer, which we had hoped, they got worse. So now we're, here the city is with a mask for adults. CDC does say masks for grades 3 through 8, but the city is not saying that yet, or the health department. So this is still in discussion. I just want to be open and honest with you and let you know that. If you have any hard feelings one way or the other, go ahead, please let me know. All adults parents, visitors, salesmen, whoever must wear a mask inside this building. So if you're coming in to pick up little Susie for a dental appointment, let us know. You have your mask on, you come in and sign your child out. If you don't wear a mask, you'll need to wait outside. We'll get your child and we'll bring them out to you. But we feel this is very strongly about this, and no offense that you're going to have the COVID, but the less adults that are around our children right now is what we need to consider. We still need volunteers, mainly in the cafeteria, and I'll get to that in a minute, but we're going to need lots of volunteers in the cafeteria. Kindergarten will decide when or if they will start volunteers. First grade read to me, same thing. So right now, just bear with us, but please remember, you must wear a mask in the building if you're an adult. Grandma or grandpa comes pick kids up, please ask them to wear a mask. Or, again, we'll bring them out to you if we have to, but there's no question in that regulation. Temperature checks. So when the kids get out of their car at drop-off, so the kids that come at before school care, they go into the gym. They're still going to come down the white corridor. At the doors will be a teacher. They will take your temperature. If you're free and clear, you go into the gym and wait till 7:45 like we always have. Mr. Gillum has squares in the gym floor, and they're spread apart to where each child will be able to sit in one and grade-wise, and he'll get everybody organized so that everybody's distance. When the bell rings, he'll send them to class walking with a distance between them. So that should work out just fine. So if you're getting dropped off, like from 7:45 to, 7:45 to 8 o'clock, you can still park and do what you did last year. None of that has changed except where the kids go in the doors. We're using 4 doors for entrance now. So the white corridor, grades 1 and 2 will come down that way and get their temperature checked at the door and go to class. Grades 3 and 4 will enter the west door, which is by the Spanish room. They will come in, as they get out of their cars, there will be teachers there taking their temperature, and then they come in those doors. Grades 6, 7, and 8 will go down to the main front door. There will be teachers standing out there taking temperatures. Then you come in the door and go to class. Kindergarten children, and their parents can take them around. They're going to go around to the east side door that goes straight to the kindergarten room. And then the teacher will stand there, take your temp, and come on in. So we've got the kids spread out in the morning for the entrances not to get too crowded. We want everybody to really pretty much work on taking care of that. It'll take a while to get used to it, but we hope everyone will cooperate with that. That's why it's going to be important for you to read this to your kids during the next few weeks and then get ready. Teachers and staff, we all have to come in the building in the morning, get our temperature taken before we can go to classrooms. So everybody's in on this. Getting your temp done and getting where you need to be. So, in the classrooms, we've done our best to get the classes arranged to where there's probably 4 feet distance. It's recommended for the 6 feet, but right now if we do that, we're going to have to split the classes up, which we don't want to do until we feel like it's necessary. So in the classrooms, the teachers have taken out all the extra furniture. So it's pretty bare bones, but we want to get the children to be in the same room together if possible. We've had a nice influx of some new families this summer. I think there's at least 8 new families already. So that's about 12 kids, I believe, or more. Some moving from other public schools and some moving from out of state. So we're very happy to have them. But that added, just one more in each class. But we feel like the seating arrangements are going to be okay for the distancing. Teachers will instruct in the front. They'll walk around just like usual with their mask on, helping kids wherever they can. When possible, and if we have to do this, then some of the students will be in here, some will be in another room, and some of the teachers may rotate during the day, but we have it all planned out. We have everybody covered with a certified teacher. So just if we have to go to that, we will tell you, we'll give you specific information. So classroom doors are going to remain open for the ventilation they've talked about. Classrooms with fans will have those on. We're having air assurance come the week before school starts to change all of our filters so everything is fresh and new as we begin getting the children in here. Hand washing and hand sanitizer. The kids are going to have breaks built in to go wash their hands. Wash your hands, wash your hands. Teachers will, monitor all that. We'll have hand sanitizer available for frequent use with that. But we've got a good plan for that, and the teachers are going to be very strict with keeping everybody with their hands washed. Mass, we do not know yet exactly how we're going to do Mass. We are going to have Mass every week. Father Jack and Father Vince know, we've talked about it with them, and they're going to make a plan to how we're going to do Mass. We'd love to have everybody together, but not exactly sure if that's possible. We'll do the best we can, and we know the buddy system is important, and we'll do the best we can with that also. The lunchroom. Here's our number 2 issue. Right now, the regulations say the kids must eat in their classroom with boxed lunches. We were trying really hard to spread out our tables and add tables in the gym. But right now we can't do that. Right now we have to follow the regulations of boxed lunches in their classroom. Chef Lisa is on board with whatever we want her to do. Bless her heart. She just wants to get a good meal out to the kids. So she's going to probably plan, for instance, 3 cold box lunches a week and 2 hot box lunches a week. She can get the containers that are needed for that. So I really appreciate her sticking with us and providing that. She is going to need a lot of help. She always needs that prep work in the morning. So some of you that were so wonderful about doing that, please consider that as your volunteer time. We usually have 3 or 4 servers. We're going to still need 3 or 4, maybe 5, because the lunches will have to be boxed up, put on the carts to get to the classrooms on time. So the kindergarten, 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th will be easy. Then we have to get lunches upstairs. So there's going to need to be extra hands on board to help with that. Plus, then they're going to have to go back in the classroom, make sure the teachers have cleaned up everything, and help with that if necessary. So please consider signing up for that at registration. We'll have the same type situation out here for that sign up. But just know they're really going to need a lot of help and consistent help. So that would be greatly appreciated. And class parties, if we have a class party, you know, parents are going to have to send the stuff, but they will not be able to attend unless things have calmed down by the time we need to do that. Treats have to be store-bought now. Unfortunately, we can't. A lot of you were so good about making fun stuff, but you know, everything's different, so we've got to kind of go with it right now. Birthday treats need to be store-bought, and we need them. Well, teachers are still talking about that. What would be the best thing and the easiest thing for them? But probably just one day a week, and that's it. But we can't have 3 or 4 things going on at the same time. So we'll keep talking about that and discussing it with home and school. So we're going to be cleaning and sanitizing like crazy. Minimal, very minimal chemical use. Right now we're planning on using the same type of sprays and the sanitizer that the church is using every week. The teachers will have a bottle, kids are at PE, whatever, you know, things will get sprayed down. We will also use soap and water, and Mrs. Kimmel, Mrs. Mitchell and I will be going around periodically, you know, grab a doorknob, grab the railing. There will be a lot of extra cleaning, and when the teachers leave at the end of the day, when the students leave at the end of the day, the teachers will come back in and do the sanitizing once again, and then our janitorial staff will work hard on the bathrooms and everything else we need to take care of. So we're very prepared for doing decent cleaning. Recess, each class is going to be encouraged to go out anytime they want, so kids could go out 2 or 3 times a day just to get the fresh air and all that. But of course, while it's hot or too cold, that'll slow down a little bit. But so regular recess, just like we always have. We're going to divide the playground into 5 different areas, and the kids will rotate around with their class. This is going to be really important while we watch and see how these procedures go. So there will be talking to them about all this the first day of school, you know, go play with your best friend, but don't get into space and things like that, which I think the kids will be just fine with. All right, again at recess, the kids will be able to play in every section, you know, the big field, the hill, the big toys, you know, so they're not going to miss out on any fun at recess. They're just going to have to be careful about not grabbing on each other and playing tag in their face and things like that. And we'll discuss all that with them before they go outside. Drinking fountains are not available, but the bottle filler is. So make sure your child has a bottle every day, water bottle every day, and those will be used constantly for refills. Health room is going to be a little bit different. It's going to be only for major things, like if a kid is really sick and all that. The minor medical situations will be handled by the classroom teacher. They'll have tons of Band-Aids, they'll have some rice bags, which are a miracle cure-all. If the child is coughing because they've got allergies, things like that, we would prefer to have them in a mask. We have some for the kids if we need to use them for something like that. And that's about all at the health room. The kids will just tell the teachers. Students that have regular medication, they definitely still go to the health room and get all that. And we'll help with whatever comes up, but not quite the revolving door we've had in the past. Okay, so drop off and pick up. Bear with me, I know this is long, but I think if you hear it and then you read it, you'll kind of get the gist of what we're trying to do. So I know a lot of students try to come around 7:20. If the gym lights are on, that's available. Go right in, like we said, and Mr. Gillum will tell the kids where to sit, how to line up, things like that. So if you're dropping off at 7:45 to 8, you use your same car routine. For drop off, we are probably going to change the route a little bit to where instead of the lane next to the curb, where the kids will get out on the curb and it's going to get crowded, we're probably going to have you just stay in the other side, that left lane. Then the kids get out in the parking lot area where we have more space for them to spread out and for teachers to get their temperatures and things like that. But we'll have everything marked off for you, so it shouldn't be that much harder. And then we have the different entrances for the kids. So at dismissal, we don't want them to crowd up like they usually do once again. So we're going to divvy it up a little bit with timing. Kindergarten will still dismiss at 3:10 and wait out in front with their teachers. Grades 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 will dismiss at 3:15. First and second grade will come out to you through the gym doors and be over there under the gym awnings with the teachers in two lines, kind of distance apart. Grades 3 will exit out the Spanish room doors like usual and walk over to the church steps. They'll be over there waiting for you. Grades 4 and 5 will go out the white corridor doors and stay in line right there for you to pick them up. So it'll be 4 and 5. To their left will be first and second, and to their left will be third. Grades 6, 7, 8 will dismiss at 3:20. Sixth grade will go out the doors they normally have down by Mrs. Lurkey's room. They'll go out the Spanish room exit door, and their line is going to be right in front of the Spanish room windows. That'll be sixth grade. Seventh grade is going to go down the preschool back stairs and go out the main hall, main doorway, and they will line up under the awning out there by the front doors. Not back, they're switching sides. And eighth grade will follow either sixth or seventh, whichever is less crowded. They'll go up the ramp hallway and then outside and park themselves wherever there's less of a crowd. So I know that sounds a little confusing, and I'm sorry, but we'll get used to it. So if we have to go to Plan B, which we sent you a while back, if they determine that there needs to be stricter social distancing, or we're seeing a case or so in our building, we will go to Plan B, which means we will separate the classes. So there is actually 6 feet between them. So that would mean our biggest classes, like third grade for instance, 15 would stay in their room, 15 would go across and be in the art room, and Mrs. Goodwin would teach this group while the other group is being supervised and given work to do. It'd probably be like, this lesson was assigned, so go ahead and start, so the teacher can get them through it. Then they'd switch places. Mrs. Goodwin would go over and teach the lesson. The other group would have the other teacher supervising them. We've got it all worked out, so trust me, it's going to work just fine. The teachers are very willing to do this, and they know what to do if we have this plan in place. If we have to go to this, we will make sure you have good information. Unfortunately, it might include splitting up first grade because they have 22, but most of the classes are almost full, so this is a possibility that would happen. I don't think it'd be that much disruption for the kids, just something different for a while that we have to endure. So Plan C is the distance learning, which would be if the governor or the mayor closes the schools down again. We took into advice all of the information you sent us in your surveys. We appreciate that. We saw the concerns you had for the distance learning. The teachers met for 3 days in June and planned out how they could do things better. And it mostly revolves around using Google Classroom and Zoom, things like that. We were not planning on using this right now at the beginning of school. So that's why we need to have more time to talk. The teachers would have to be in-serviced. There's a lot going on with all that, but we're going to do our best to listen to what you have to say Wednesday night and figure out ways of doing this. That's what you're going to receive in a few minutes by email. So I ask you to keep it, go over, like I said, go over it with your kids, let them see me, which I'm sure they'll be thrilled with. Just know that we've missed you guys so much. We want you here, but we have to keep everybody safe and healthy. And that's going to include doing some things that are not the normal routine that, you know, some of you don't agree with, but we want to help you, but we really need your support on this. We want you to stay here. We don't want you out searching for another school. We are very confident that we're going to give your children a wonderful education like we usually do. But the most important thing is to stay together as a community of faith. We need to be with these kids to support them in their faith life. They've had emotional upsets this whole time, like we all have. We want to be here to comfort them and to help them feel secure and happy to be together, but we need your support, parents, to be able to make that very successful. We've always had your support, and we hope it continues, and we thank you for the support you can offer and just any help you can give us as we start this process of get back to school on August 20th. So thank you for listening to me babble on, but I don't want somebody calling and go, I don't understand, I don't know what's going on. Hopefully this will help that. Please still feel free to call me with questions, but I hope this helps you a little bit to understand what we've been planning, how we want to implement, how we need your support, and how we want to take care of your children starting August 20th. Thank you, everybody. We'll see you Wednesday night.